been quite a while, hasn't it, guys? Anyways, guys, welcome to the ESL Challenger League. Oh, is it really league these days? It's Challenger Cup 4 with only Josh and as your caster here. You guys are having a great day so far. I had to let's just put it this way. I had to really just bootleg this one because I saw a few games that weren't going to get casted, which was pretty sad actually, which was now everything's being covered, by the way, which is the worst part because I feel bad because there's a lot of other talent that could have casted these games. But we've got Ground Zero taking on Skele today. I gotta say it was a toss up between Corlazol, the Corlazol gamer taking on TDU, Fun and Down Under, or Ground Zero taking on Skele. And I gotta say this one's kind of an interesting game. So I talked to both teams before the game on how it's gonna go. Both teams said it was gonna be a 50-50, and this is the little goss on why. So if you guys are unaware, Slimy has moved to another team. Therefore, Slimy is not playing in Ground Zero today. So if you made any things, in relation to Slimy, then I would probably, look at it again because Slimy is not going to be playing today. Because Slimy is on a new team, and wait for that new team to announce it before we say anything. At Ground Zero in the meantime, they've got their coach Tux subbing in. So Tux is going to be that 5th player. And of course, they've got the usuals, the APOC Dud, the PZ, and the Vision and Omicello combo as well. I talked to Omi before the game, to get an idea of how the team's going and whatnot. Omi basically said, on the ways to beat Skele. He respects those players on the other team quite a lot. Skele, Neo, they've got some sharpshooters there as well. And basically doesn't want to give them any 1v1s in particular. They want to make sure that they have the trades and the advantageous tools going into them in particular because they know they can shoot back. And they don't want to play into their scrappy style of, a very puggy style and whatnot in particular. We'll highlight this a bit later as well, that they are a very puggy team as per se. And that's why overall they don't want to run into that issue. They want to, go to their strengths, use your utility, use your flashes and stuff like that and win these advantageous duels over them in the area. The IGLs of the AWP hasn't changed, so PC is still in the AWP and APOC Dud, the leader of the Yoga Clinic, as I call Ground Zero. So if you guys are unaware of why I call Ground Zero the Yoga Clinic, is that back in one of the ANZC locals, basically APOC Dud was calling with PZ and a few others as well. Just with no Let's Go Golfing, and they won the entire tournament. Basically the difference between, I think it was Art of War at that time, and Let's Go Golfing at that time, it was very calm and very soothing, like he was leading a yoga clinic basically about, what to do and whatnot. So hence the joke that is the yoga clinic, because APOC does a very calm IGL and a very relaxing IGL, which is really, really great to see. And then you got PZ in the AWP. PZ has had some international experience, obviously with Vertex back in the day. And I gotta say, overall, he hasn't got back to that international scene yet. And I think he's only had one international land since, I believe, and that was against Chinggis. And I gotta say, the amount of frustration I had watching that game was very, very high because they were in that game. Like, even though it was a 13-2 at the end of Dust 2, they should have won at least 7 to 8 rounds, even more potentially as well. And I think Ground Zero definitely go into as favourites, even though they have pulled back a bit. You saw them at the LAN, they didn't play that great. They got eliminated, I believe, by Arcade at the LAN as well, which is a bit of a understatement, a bit of a roller coaster. They almost eliminated Fun and Down Under, and then it got eliminated by Arcade at LAN. Probably not, too kind for Ground Zero. You could argue a bit of fatigue as well, since Arcade didn't play too much while Ground Zero did. But it's something to look out for. Obviously, since Ground Zero has last played Skele, obviously Daniel's left, Slimy's also left, and now Tux is in. Definitely a bit of a downgrade for Ground Zero, given that Tux will, basically is all IGL sort of role, and they've already got an IGL, and they've already got most definitely a better role part in PZ. Now, Tux is obviously going to be on the rifle. I feel like Ground Zero have got a good combo there with both Omicello and Vision, that they could probably carry a Tux support player. Like, Tux could just throw the flashes and whatnot, and Omicello and Vision just work with each other and see what happens. Maybe puts APOC Dud in a different role as per se, where, generally an IGL is more of a support role than a aggressive role, but we'll see what happens there. However, let's get into Skele, because I haven't talked about Skele too much. So Skele, 5-man team out of 10 people. That's pretty much it. That's what I've been told. And what we got tonight for the 5 players, according to Neo. Neo, I believe, is the IGL. But, and the AWP is going to be Motion, Jeremy, as per usual. So Motion on the AWP. I'm going to say, Motion's an interesting character, because he either plays up here and plays lights out, and mostly on my stream as well, or he plays, he's just bottom fragging, okay? He's literally foggers, okay? In a nutshell, but an AWPer. And Neo and IGL, Neo's been pretty decent on the IGL. I reckon if he gets a solid team together, given the fact he's got a lot of the XDXA boys together as well, which he's got Lucas, he's also added on Arctic and Tidy, which I believe he picked up from, even though they're under Vantage, they weren't actually Vantage, but he's picked those boys up and they're pretty decent as well. I mean, Tidy in particular, his first game on the scene, he just played lights out, which is actually pretty crazy to see as well. But he said Neo thinks it's a 50-50, he thinks it's either going to happen or it doesn't. It basically said if we shoot better and, you know, really force ground zero to 1v1 duels, we are definitely going to win this. The veto overall, I'm going to say for Skele, given the players that they have and also the lands that they've been at as well, I don't view them too much of a threat, to be honest. Like, at the LAN, I guess, you know, when you're in a group with like Thunder Down Under, when you're in a group that's like basically the group of death. I'm trying to remember the group stage, by the way. You're just not going to get far, and you know, you're not expected to really do anything, which is the unfortunate part. Like they would just get they essentially got busted out basically. Like, you know, they had no chance in hell of getting in. Let's just be honest. You know what I forgot to do, guys? I forgot to do how to exec my configs. That's going to be very interesting. But yeah, like, you know, Skele in particular, like, their last few runs have been just basically essentially just bundled out in a lot of these tournaments, and they haven't really had a chance to really shoot back or anything like that. They've just been getting absolutely destroyed. Like, you know, to be honest, like, they've been getting absolutely plundered and blasted, and it's just like, what are you meant to do? Like, you know, it's just like, what can you do against these sort of things? Because like, there's only certain things you can do when you're getting like blasted out in LAN. You're not expected to win. You got two of the teams that are favorites in the same group as you. It just isn't going to happen. Okay, like, in my opinion, it just isn't going to happen. And, you know, they do a relatively decent job, you know, at doing so. They do a relatively decent job. But yeah, I just feel overall that, you know, most of these scenarios are just not going to happen for them at all. Getting into the CSTV, guys, at the moment. Now, just get Skele's previous results. Skele, they beat Time Waves in a BO3. I guess is that really an achievement, given that Time Waves, I guess I don't really rate them very highly, but I guess so for a team like Skele. That's pretty decent. They've lost to Ground Zero recently as well. Obviously, the last time they played, according to HOT, was on the LAN, which I doubt that, given the fact Skele probably plays a lot of open games as well. I couldn't really find too much statistics on that for you guys before I got in. Actually, they're not in open at all, so they're just taking this up Raw Dog, so that's kind of interesting as well. They've won a few games. I think that was against Time Waves. The last time they played was on the 26th of April, which was which was yesterday. Obviously, they 2-0 Time Waves, and I gotta say, Arctic looked very, very flash, and Motion looked also very, very flash as well. I don't know why it's not listed here. Oh, it is listed here. I'm just blind. But yeah, they haven't really won a BO3. They haven't really won a BO3 against a top tier team, and I don't really rate Time Waves. And the last time they got bundled out by Mind Freak, I mean, basically they did get a map off Abyssal in the winners match for CCT previously as well, but they also got punched out by Abyssal. And looking at what Skele have been doing, unfortunately, they've just been getting bundled out a lot of things, especially by Thunder Down Under as well. That's where Skele played a LAN as well, which is I'm a bit annoyed by that. I'm trying to find the LAN, but also at the defrag LAN as well. They also got blasted out by Arcade and Semper Fi. They didn't even win a map, and you know, basically, if you don't win a map at LAN, it's pretty difficult to kind of recover that. And not to mention as well, I mean, they had Semper Fi and Arcade in the same LAN. You know, it's just like Arcade at that point is an up-and-coming team that's actually got a fairly good roster, and Semper Fi ain't gonna beat them. Okay, they're one of the top dogs, and I kind of put Ground Zero in that lot as well. This is why I'm thinking that they're just gonna get pushed aside to nothing in this regards. Hey Chuck, I hope you're having a good day so far. What else? What else to really cover? But yeah, that's overall, that's pretty much what to cover at the moment. Just waiting for the players to get in, and then we can get in underway. I do expect a 2-0 from Ground Zero today. Also, we're going to be a bit rusty with a lot of these, okay? Because one, I have not produced... Well, that doesn't help. I have not produced CS. That really doesn't help. I've not produced CS in such a long time. That, yeah. Oh, helping that I can't get my HUD to the other screen. Oh boy. It was very interesting. They've changed. G'day. They've changed my HUD since I last used it. Oh boy. Okay, so that works. Are they gonna do roster? I have no idea about Mind Freak. I don't think so, given the fact they've lost everything. Did they change the HUD, like with the with getting it onto your other screen? Every single time. Oh well, we can. Oh no, never mind. Big. I fixed it. I think. Yeah, there we go. Do you think it's worth for them to keep going? I don't think it's worth Separate 5s to keep going, to be honest. At this stage. Yeah, given what's going I'm not sure what's going on behind the scenes, but I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled out. They got the vetoes coming in, guys, as well. Oh, I've got to change a lot of people's pictures, but we'll just do that during the game, okay? So, vetoes. Is going to be basically Mirage, picked by Skele, obviously the lower rating team. Then you got Inferno, and then you got Dust 2, which is the aim of 3, basically. So if you're unaware of the aim of 3, the aim of 3 is Dust 2, Inferno, and whatnot. Players are coming in just bouncing around at the moment, and I'm trying to update profile pictures for a lot of these guys. You chose the least interesting game? No, this is actually an interesting game. If you think this is the least interesting game, you must, I gotta say, you need to look at it a bit more. I think this is a very, very good game. Because if you think I'd say the least interesting game is TDU versus Low Cortisol. That is the least interesting game. In my honest opinion. The Rooster game is the most interesting? No, because Rooster's forfeited because they're in China. Is it going straight for GZ? I would not think. I'd say GZ should win 2-0, but I don't think it's going to be the least interesting game. But they're actually in trades to China? Yeah, because they're China for the ACL qualifiers. Because TD gonna stop? Yeah, of course they're gonna stop, but that's boring. That's why I'm telling you straight up. That it's a boring game because it's gonna stop. Trying to see if everyone has pictures, but I'm very sure, yeah, that's pretty much it. Where do they get the money to do that? They probably raise it themselves. Most likely. Like, they're in China for the close qualifiers for ACL. To be fair, Rooster and Mark and Lara is going to be the most interesting game because obviously that's a pretty decent size versus each other. That's X Vertex. But anyways, guys, we have got players in the server. And there we go, we got sound. And we got the sides. I'm glad. You have to fix a few things. Good thing that Skele is not being picked up. That means they're forfeiting. Reset on the vetoes. That's interesting. They're gonna be playing on 200 MS if they're still in China. But anyway, knife round count underway, and it'll be a GZ winning. So they'll be pretty happy about that. Yeah, we're linked to qualifiers, dude. I have no idea, and you asked me questions. I have no idea about it. It's on Wikipedia, as far as I know. And I have no idea where the qualifiers are. Like, I have no idea what servers are going to play them on, or what sort of thing are you going to go on. All I know is on Wikipedia at the moment, as we get into the pistol. The view one on the B side is going to be Tux, and they're heading towards B. Tux has got the dualies. They put the early smoke to try and deter them as Tux gets up in the balcony. Made noise, they would have heard that. Can he get to the couches though? He gets to the couches, will they check him though? He's on a pretty wide angle actually. And given that they've already cleared out A main, as you can see there, Omichella's clearing out A main, he's like, guys, they're not here. So Tuck's gonna hop himself up and try and play anti-flash. He's expecting the flash to be flying in. Neo being very, very cautious, making a bit of noise, being think ready, checks the balcony, but Tux wins the 2 anyway. Great flash because everyone's blind. Tux with the faster weapon gets 1-2, PC coming from behind. Michelle of the early flank, and beautiful. Slimy has joined a new team. Slimy has left ground zero. Therefore Tux is stepping in. That was a beautiful counter by Ground Zero. I think overall, this early push by Omichella wins the round. So this early push clears out, it's not an A hit. Tux knows he's going to come here, gets into a safe position. Rotates can happen early, and Omichella, the quick flank, basically cuts off this execute very quickly. M4's coming in. I wonder what they're talking about. Neo, bit stuck. Why? It's secret information. It's private information. There's a reason why he left the team. But their team that he joined has not announced him yet. Early flank for Apoc Dud. Apoc Dud's hearing noise as well. And this is a problem. They have to play retake on A. Because Apoc Dud, even though he's got all the information, they have absolutely no territory on A. Smoke being thrown in, trying to fake it out. Ooh, Vision catches Arctic. Arctic wasn't watching towards the jungle area. They're looking for the split. They aren't going to get it. Can he get a few kills? Michelle and Vision, they work together. One each. PZ does go down in that middle exchange, and it's all up to Lucas. Look at the bird fight. Almost nails the shot onto Michelle. It's been less than a month. There are a lot of moves. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, there are a lot of moves. Okay. That has happened. And you are going to find out, so be very, very patient. Another round coming in. Can it be... Well, at least they got weapons this time. And Ardek's heard that, so Ardek's going to bounce back on Powerless. He's going to swing. He does swing. The flash doesn't reach it. Give you a 1-for-1 trade. Vision takes a bit of damage. Omichella trades out. Give you a 2-for-2 duel on the A side. Trying to make this A site come in. Tux is playing B anchor. He's going to rotate a bit towards middle at least. And Skele can reset here. Skele can reset. Because they don't have to go into this. They've got a couple of kills. Oh, missed shots from Neo, and he's going to be punished. The PZ Tux push. Now, Motion should be able to get a trade here. Oh, no, he isn't. Doesn't see the connector player yet. Looks towards middle. Motion trying to sneak this one out. Catches a reload. Tux, that's a bit silly. Vision can't really trade. Vision trying to wait for the timing. Can he get a flash out there to get the timing right? Vision, is he going to peek dry? I hope not. Oh, he's seen both of them. He's got the bomb at least. Vision's dropped the bomb. Now Motion's got to push on forward. He's got to retrieve the bomb at least. And basically, Ground Zero makes it a 2v1. HE being thrown in. Vision. Oh no, that's a bad HE as well. And Motion's actually going to play this perfectly. Wizzy. This is a hard one for a poor Motion here. He has no idea what other players are on the A side. PZ's adjusting towards Palace. He's not going to check Palace at all. He'll probably plant it for Palace thinking it's safe, and PZ's just going to clock 2 at him in the head. This is a hard one here for Motion. Because Motion has no idea that PZ's moved. He's got a check ticket as well. And that should be an easy one for PZ. Oh no! Motion peeks Palace. He's expecting it. And Vision coming in from Connector. Should be 3-0. I'm not sure. Vision with a free case. I'm not sure if DPR's playing. I think DPR could be filling in for Abyssal, given that he's quit. And no, Abyssal weren't signing Damio. DPR is a very good player, like, you know, very underrated player. I was singing his praises quite a lot. Like, everyone kept looking at stats. They look at, you know, the star rolls and whatnot. DPR's averaging 1.04 as an anchor player, okay? An anchor averaging 1.04 rating. Which is quite high. Flashbang thrown in, Tidy trying to get this mid control. Smoke as well. Skele just need to get something going. They've had a decent run of their half by so far. But they just need to get more than just a bomb plant. They need to get a victory on the board. Ground zero, always winning by the numbers, taking pieces where they can. Mid split coming in. Lucas trying to catch that connector player. Can he find us the main key? Smoke towards Heaven as well. Palace as well. Tech 9s. And a Deagle coming in. I preferred more Tech 9s though if you're going to bust in a site like this. And Poke Dud. Just waiting for the boost. I'm just going to be careful with all this noise. If he makes any noise, Apoc Dud's just going to spam it. Keeping thrown in. One. Can he get 2? Vision with a spray down. PZ on the other end. But should be a trade by Arctic. Arctic will pick up an M4 for free. Bomb is lost, but Heavy recovered. Arctic just pressing and pushing at the moment. Needs to push through. Needs to recover that bomb. Ooh, actually the bomb. I think it's actually on the... No, yeah, bomb's on short, but should be recovered. Beautiful shot by PZ to ensure that isn't recovered. And Arctic's in a rock and a hard place. It is if you're going to go for those wall bangs, PZ, because he knows that M4 is going to be firing back. They don't want to lose too many weapons here. Trying to isolate that duel. Almost takes down Omachella. Arctic takes a bit of damage as well. And Vision in the end with the backstab coming in. Actually, that's an incredible shot from Vision, actually. I didn't think Vision had the range. Like, I didn't think the Vision had the range from this sort of angle to take out Arctic, but he did. 4-0 on the board. Ground zero, keeping the economy fine. Guns on Skele. Full utility as well. PZ actually posted up here. Oh, PZ's got a good position posted up in apartments. Would they check him though? They're speaking about it. But PZ gets a beautiful shot to Tidy. Such an aggressive angle because, oh, could get the hand. Motion does get the hand of Apoc Dud. Can't get that. Oh, geez, missed. Shots there. PZ with the trade. I could be saying ground zero, they're really giving a lot of giveaways to Skele. Looking towards Heaven. Oh, Vision. Beautiful. Great bait from his ticket player in Omachella. That's why it was beautiful as well. Like, Vision was baiting him in, and not Vision, sorry, Omachella was baiting the fight. And Vision just peeks, tears the head off. Puck's on a very close angle. Lucas, will he choose to break this with a nade? I'm going to say here, Skele, if they're going to go into the site like this, you know, the nades need to come out like this to execute to the A site. That's going to force Vision off his line. Stairs completely covered now. Tux. Molotov thrown. Oh, that's not a good molly. Flash goes in, but Tux can't get anything to begin with anyway. Vision in sandwich. They're not checking it anyway, but Omachella's got one. Lucas is going to throw... Yeah, he's not going to check it. He's not going to check it. Oh, he does check it in the end. But Vision puts him in the ground. I guess in the chaos, they did hear the player go into sandwich because there's a lot of flashes, a lot of HEs going in like this. And Vision just sneaks into sandwich there. You know, if they didn't hear it, Vision would have got a lot of kills like this for free. I guess overall for Skele though, they did make an initial push, but you know, Oceania just stopped it dead. I mean, the stairs players or you know any players from Ticket getting any kills is just going to stop the execute dead. You really need to deal with that player. I think the second Molotov was pretty lackluster, given the fact it was meant to get tucked out of position, but didn't really matter as Neo. Well, he's doing some good work at the moment. Vision taken out by Tiny. Neo doing some damage by Apoc Stud with the HE. Now Apoc Dud, he's got a bit of a jewel trying to get into ladder room. This is a problem for Apoc Dud here because they don't have much middle control, so he can be punished relatively easy here. Tidy just waiting. Did he see Tidy? No, he didn't. Tidy's popped up now. Apoc Dud jump scared. PZ. Motion. Can't really do too much there. Tux cleans out Tidy as well, and that's the middle push. Gotta fall apart. You know, Arctic on the other side's got in with A. The problem is the bomb is in middle. PZ on a pixel angle. They can't cross on the default without crossing on the PZ. Unless they can catch him in transition. This is interesting here. There's a kit on site, by the way. So no problems with kits. Apoc, Dud, and Tux all have one anyway. Lucas is a bit careful here. They've got the sandwich player in Arctic. They have no idea where anyone is around here. Okay? And given that 3 players have died, you've got to be very careful. Arctic. We can catch Apoc Dud here, and this will make this A execute a lot easier. They won't expect him at sandwich. Or will they? Oh, they've seen each other. Tux goes down. Apoc Dud in the trade. Does get the trade in the end. Looking towards Connect. Doesn't know where Lucas is. PZ sneaking in. PZ is the X factor here. Lucas got a lot of work to do. I don't think he's going to check PZ though. Yeah, he's got to go in. PZ's got the angle miss shot. Going to go for the plant. And Apoc Dud knows he's got to go for it. Yes, doesn't get any Lucas. They get a bomb plant at least and it gets a bit of money. They promise you a focus cast if you do this one. No, because nothing about that. I just saw this game had no coverage. It was 2 games with no coverage. And I picked this game. And that's pretty much it. Another round for ground 0. At least this time Skele did get a bomb plant. That's probably the main thing. That they did get a bomb plant. Skele just gotta lock in. Nah, Kier, I think, you know, they're locked out. Theo takes down Vision, a good entry as well. The annoying part here for Skele is that they did get the initial pick, and they might get another. They should get another. Oh, Tiny traded out, but Neo. Oh, jeez, they're gonna be annoyed there for Skele. Skele and Apoc Dud out on his haunches, and somehow Apoc Dud was managed able to trade it out in the end. Flashbang goes in. Oceania's dead, man. Gotta say ground 0. They actually are wandering into disadvantageous duels. Like, guys, think before you throw in. Flashbang been thrown in, and PZ defending the A site by himself, and motion. Tux goes down, and that should be a switch to A the moment they see that nade. And they're still committing to A. Gotta be careful about committing to A, because if you lose the bomb in no man's land, not a good idea. Flashbang been thrown in. Hearing Stips, PZ. Taking down Arctic. Take that bomb and run. PZ was second. Don't give him a third, please. Well, PZ's been spotted. He knows that player doesn't have the bomb, so the bomb hasn't been revealed yet. The bomb's coming towards A. PZ. Does he know that motion's here? Can't get the shot off. And it'll be a first round for Skele. Motion. I guess say probably not the greatest idea to do that. But he's gonna do it anyway. All the trash talk coming in after winning a round. I gotta say, I was a bit surprised that Skele were trying to really force their way through PC. Like, I would rather just go to the B site. They can't do anything, so it just doesn't matter. So I was a bit surprised by that. Because like basically PC gets 2 kills out of that. Can potentially win it as well. And you know, that's not ideal. You don't want to give PZ that sort of let's put it this way, you don't want to give him that advantage. Especially if he drops the bomb as well. drops the bomb, you know, basically PZ, it's dictated on his terms that they've got to engage with him. You don't want that. You don't want the CTs dictating a 1vx scenario. Epoch Dud exploring, and he's going to be like, guys, they're not coming. There's no one A main. So Tux, just live as long as you can. You can see here Vision and PZ trying to reinforce this area. PZ trying to get onto site too. And he might have to reset this, I'm going to say. Because they surely should have heard PZ. Boost coming up as well. Molotov thrown in. They are still going for the B split. Checking ladder room, no one's there. Oh, he's got a lot of exploration coming in. Here comes a split. They're trying to get the flank, but it's not going to be there, so they're going to try to have to hold it by themselves. Oh, jeez. Dude, I completely forgot my off settings. So that is a absolutely mess. Oh, no. They're not checking for Tux. Tux has got one, gets a second, and this is all falling apart. Jeez, that's I gotta say. Tux has won this round by being on that boost area. They can't plant the bomb. Got one, just run. 8 Dud, not enough time. And 8 Dud trying to get some kills after round. I don't know how it happened, but I hit my tilt key up by mistake. When I was observing and casting that, but that was a very, very big hold from Tux. I actually can't believe he held that, to be honest. Also been thrown in, PZ. We have the open hand. I think that doesn't get the shot. It was only a half grab. Overcello of one. PZ's got to hold the angle. PZ's a dead man. These Tech 9s will come running at him, and that's exactly what they do. Now Vision, can he get a HE kill at least? Might get a Kobe, he does. Lucas just flies in his face. And Vision with the HE does a bit of damage. Combo rotation coming in is Apoc Dud. Long range, HE going to be thrown in as well as a Molotov towards Firebox to prevent them from having that angle. Aggressive coming in with the Tech 9s because that's what you got to do. With the Tech 9s, you just hold W. Because if you don't hold W, you are going to lose. Tux coming in from behind. Might be able to catch a few plays. If he catches the AK, it'll be great for the retake. The AK not looking at his angle. Needs to get secures at least. That's the AK dropped. And Neo wins the duel. That's one of the kits down. Now Vision, he knows the players at ticket spots. Their second M4 in Arctic. Like being thrown in. Vision. He's got the kit. I think he just needs to go for it at this stage. Fake it out. Fortunately, Tux takes down Neo. And that should be an 8th round on the board. Port recovered and Molotov as well. I gotta say, I did like that round from Skele. You know, they just busted into the Tech 9s and got crazy under pressure. Very, very good hit. You know, that's what you gotta do to Tech 9s. You just gotta throw your util, try to lock out these long jewels here, and just really get in their face. And if headshot the Tech 9 will take out the shadow player, will take out the sandwich player. Anyone playing on default or firebox will take them out as well. Give a one-tap headshot. Because they're just close. However, Tech 9 at long range, terrible weapon. Very terrible weapon. Motion. He knows Apoc Dud loves playing the HE grenade being thrown in. Motion doesn't get any information. PZ blasts away Lucas. Apoc Dud follows up. Vision gets up, makes it a trio. And the bomb. Oh, the bombs? No, Vision can't see it yet. Molotov being thrown in. Omichella's got to go. And Omichella actually goes a smart direction. Goes towards Shadow instead. Arctic has given himself away. And the GH is going to be thrown it towards A main. Tidy going to pick up that bomb. I'm going to say, I'm not sure what really they can do here. Coming out of retirement like MJ. Probably not, given that my observing has not been that great today. I'm going to say overall, this is going to be a minute of saving. Because they have absolutely no real estate. They have no middle. They have no palace. The only real area they have is the apartments, and that's it. And I don't think you can, you know, really drill out apartments like that. PZ throwing a Molotov to unders to prevent a split here. Tidy is just going to be wandering into an AWP. And that's exactly what's it. Straight in the crown jewels. PZ, deck chair, pina colada right next to him. A beach umbrella. Beautiful. That's what it was there. 2 easy AWP shots. Makes it 9 for GZ. PZ, 12 kills. Vision, 14 kills. Oceania. I gotta say, you know, there's a bit of a meme here, okay? Oceania's name is Jack, okay? But he used to be called Greg, okay? Like his IGN's Greg. So we call Greg is when he plays badly, doing a Greg. And we call him Jack when he's playing good, okay? And he's being a Greg at the moment. He's being a big Greg at the moment. It's Gregging it up. To be fair, though, he's been setting up Vision a lot, I would say. How many assists has he got? Oh, okay, not too many assists. I thought he had a lot more. Execute popping in. Molotov to counter it. Stopped for a couple of seconds. Oceania on playing reverse default. He's going to say a lot of pressure on PZ there. PZ can't really help out his teammates. Give you a lot of rifle duels. Counter flash. Checking Tetris. Doesn't see anything, Omi. They're not revealing his hands yet. I gotta say that they're really... You know, they're trying to wait for the first person to blink. They're trying to bluff each other out. Giving Vision and Oceania an edge. Tux is even rotated over as well. They think it's a hit. And they're going to be right as well. It is going to be an A hit. PZ just waiting for him to be mollied down. Unfortunately, the molly doesn't spread close enough, and Neo is able to just face away from the flames. I have a feeling this execute's coming. PZ's in an awful location. We'll get a kill though. Shuts down Neo. Almost gets a second Arctic to trade. There's no Oceania in there. No, they do not. Vision intervenes. Doesn't get a kill, but it's going to be actually in their favor as well. Tux gets one. Tux needs to just, you know, help this flank out from Apoc Dud. Well, they can even think about it. No. They're going to be facing their back against the wall, and Apoc Dud is going to have the easiest 2-tap. And he doesn't have to intervene anymore. He can just throw the flash, but it doesn't really matter. Tux cleans it up. 10 rounds on the board for ground 0. Slimy has joined a new team. Okay? That new team has not announced that Slimy has joined them yet. That is all. Ground 0 on another streak. You can tell there, you know, Skele getting to the side, but they just get pulled apart. He has joined a new team. There's no one, they haven't announced it yet, but when you see an announcement, you'll see why. And you'll fall to your knees on why the announcement is, which is even sadder. Apoc Dud. Like, checks towards middle for a Molotov towards unders. Is he getting damaged? No trip damage from the HEs. Apoc Dud. Early kill by Art, taking down Tux. That's going to force Apoc Dud off his angle. Apoc Dud's in a really awkward position. He has to win one of these duels. I do know which teams he's going to, but I'm waiting for them to announce it. Oh, geez, Lucas, bit reckless there, trying to push through the smoke. And Oceania just firing into the smoke, getting a bit more bullets there with the Galil. Apoc Dud is now forced to be the B-side anchor. I think Skele are aware of this. They're launching a player into middle now. Might actually get some dividends out of it as well, because Oceania is also rotating across as well, not holding middle. Just PZ by himself. PZ taking down Tidy. They're going to go for an A hit. I mean, you got this player in middle. Oh, no. Oceania, he knew he was coming in motion, caught out. Now, Apoc Dud takes down Arctic, and it's all up to Neo. Neo knows Apoc Dud is nearby. Neo in a 1v4 to end the half. I know, I can't tell you guys, because first of all, the team hasn't announced them, and that's pretty much it. Neo chips Apoc Dud, doesn't really matter. Flashbang goes in, he can't see. Molotov as well to keep it going. And Vision. Gonna make it 11. Not really much Skele offered there on the T side of Mirage. I think they were just constantly shoved back over and over and over again. I mean, I gotta say, like, you know, not real meant much. There was a lot of different executes being shown. It's just in a lot of these post-game scenarios, in particular, I gotta say the B side, like that B side, they had a 4v2 on that B side, okay? And they lost to a Tux 3K, okay? They lost a 3K to Tux. It was tucked up here, which I didn't check. Okay, and they were planning the bomb as well. They'd secured the site. And that's gonna sting, because they're not gonna get many of those rounds where they're gonna have a man advantage over ground 0. And I gotta say, Skele, they're picking the B side as the Xe. And they're going to find out that it ain't the B site. And it's going to be up to Motion here. And Motion, if he gets any headshots, it'd be great. They've got no kits either. They went full armor USB. And here comes the exit. Ocean. Can he swat? One. Can he get second? No, been gooshed. And he's going to drop back. That is going to be the bomb planted. Smoke being thrown in as well. And they're digging a bit deeper into Ticket. Meanwhile, Lucas trying to get the default player. He's been spotted. Gets another. Great work. Takes that Apoc through to Smoke. Gets gooshed. Drops back. Doable retake here. Doable retake. Just use the goosh players first. As, you know, kind of like a... But I gotta say, Tux is gonna aggress here as well. Because they know that goosh... Oh, Lucas, beautiful shot. Might be able to win the retake all on his own. Traded out by Vision. They know where Vision is at jungle. Easy. Got one. Can be traded out. They need to get on that bomb quickly as well. But they finally take down. And that's gonna be a first pistol round for Skele. Now, it's getting a bit out of control there as well. Especially with PZ lining it up. I'm not gonna mention which team he's gonna go for, but you'll find out. And it is quite, and it is it's good that Slimy's going, but the person he's replacing is pretty dire, I'm gonna say. As in, like, you know, oh, that's huge news. PZ sees a few. They forced up. PZ's got one. Can he get a second? Can he get a second? You're gonna say they're putting a lot of pressure onto mid at the moment. I'm gonna say, being at window, you know, no one's gonna play window anymore with a spray down like that. Now on Arctic, just squatting. Just doing a squat, just jumping up. He knows people are coming for him. You know when it's getting announced? No, I do not. Force Spike coming in for ground zero. You've got Tech9, Steagles, Galils, they're chirping up. I have to be careful here. Well, the MP9 is strong against the Tech9 at close combat, but Molotov towards Van, and he is going to get surely one at least, but traded out by the Tech9 of Tux. Tux chipping in. Potion's got 1, 2. Can he get a third? No, he cannot. Tux, can he get the bomb down at least? So that's what he's trying to do, but he's going to be 2 tapped away, and that's the bomb dropped. Overchella couldn't really cover him with the Deagle. Molotov thrown in. That's not a good Molotov. Lucas should win this easy, though. Third round for Skele. And that's going to put round 0 in Eco, and Skele can put a few rounds on the board. We have no OC players in Oceania. Like, we have no international play Oceania on international teams, no. JKS was the last one. Should be an easy round here for Skele. Put him away. Vision ahead of the Molotov. He has been heard. Arctic, he's going to throw that. Oh, jeez, Arctic, throw that nade. Over Vision. I've got to say, there's a bit of a cat and mouse here. Apoc start taking out. Not really harming anyone. In fact, they're not harming anyone at all with these pistols. Vision going to try it again. Arctic on a better angle this time. The Tux is, interestingly enough, got someone towards window. Vision trying to look for Arctic. A lot of cat and mouse. Really a lot of cat and mouse at the moment. They're swinging along to B side, given that they've got some sort of territory. I don't think Slimy's been recycled too much on these OCE teams. Vision, drilled by Neo. Rooster were reshaping at a time when he moved to, I think it was Mind Freak. And then obviously Mind Freak split apart, which obviously, because he got poached by GZ. But that's not recycling as per se. Should be easy there around here. Tux trying to go for the 1 dig, not going to get it. And it should be round over. He's being passed around. He's not being passed around because it's Slimy. He's being passed around because teams are splitting apart. Not because there was anything wrong with Slimy. Slimy was dropped? No, Slimy's moving to a new team. Hasn't been announced. I'll tell you straight up. In my opinion, Slimy doesn't not have the skill yet to go international. Missed Storm Shot, and Arctic's gonna get two. Tidy with the backup. Oceania trades, but that's not a losing trade, and Oceania's gonna be traded out by Arctic. It's gonna be a 3-for-1 trade, and that ain't looking good for Ground Zero. And Ground Zero notably have issues winning T rounds. They have no issues winning CT rounds. They have massive issues winning T rounds. And their T side leaves a lot to be asked for, especially as they lost a bomb in A main. Good player for a semi-decent EU team? Definitely cannot. So right now, I don't think Slimy is good enough to play on a semi-decent EU team. Nope. Vision. He's going to catch a timing. I've got the bomb all here, but Vision, he might catch the AWPer. He might catch motion from behind. Is the best OC talent you have? Definitely not. Motion's going to check. Let's catch it, take out Vision in the end. Vision's going to be very annoyed by that. Who's better? Addict. Hazard. ASAP. You think so? Yes. Do you watch Addict play? I'm going to say right now. Addict is a round changer. Okay? That guy haunts teams. Haunts EU teams. Addict can make a 3v5 scenario into a 3v3 scenario and still have, like, decent HP. And then absolute tear teams apart. Addict is a scary player. Apoc does recover the orb. I gotta say, I'm not liking this from Ground Zero. I mean, they're looking like Skele on their T side. Like I'm not liking these scenarios where they're getting a 3-for-1 here and a bad 3v1 because Omachella's like walking wounded. You know, you can't be losing 298 HP to one guy, especially with an MP9 as well. Motion, taking down Omochella. 0.80? No, that's not his rating, dude. He was posting like 1.0 ratings consistently against EU teams. I don't know where you're getting that information from. Like all the LAN tournaments, he was the most consistent player. And like European teams that I talked to were targeting him. Because he said, like, this guy can change games. Like, they were literally planning to counter him. Apoc Dud. Gonna say that was impressive from Apoc Dud, given the fact Neo instantly traded him. You talked about an Oceanic player, Dangos. Oh, jeez. That's very untidy from Tidy. And that's a weapon given away as well. I thought he had a second player there, but he doesn't. And that's allowed onto the A side. I don't know why he took the risk, either. Like, he peeked in. Oh, jeez. They're going to say... Tech 9 over the long range is not ideal. They think they've got the bomb stopped. But Lucas has confirmed that the bomb's dropped, and it should be the round over. Great HE there. Great HE here. Till they stop the plant. That was actually very, very crucial. I gotta say, yeah, Tidy should have not gone for that. Fortunately, he's not punished because of it. I should have not gone to that. He has no backup. There's no backup anywhere in the A site, and he goes for it by himself. He's gonna get a 6-3 on the board. But either way, smashed it out. I gotta say, great connector play as well. The HE here was crucial. Stops the bomb plant at default. And Dango, so I'm going to be serious here. Do you think Slimy can get a 1.0 rating against tier 8 European teams? I'm going to tell you straight actually, his average will probably be 0.8, 0.9 against some of those teams. Because those teams are quite good. Lux takes a bit of damage. Give him a few months. Yes, no, he won't. I'll tell you right now, he won't. If you're saying give him a few months, give the Addict a few months. Because remember, Addict literally went over there as well. Yeah, Kyo, you're not meant to leak that. And just an FYI, Addict had only been on the team for like roughly a month at Semper Fi that stage when he went to those EU tournaments. So you're being very unfair to Addict, but being very incredibly biased towards Slimy. I don't think this actually is going to work because A, Neo's got his opener. I gotta say Neo's been absolutely killing it this game so far. It'll be a 1-for-1 trade, but geez, Tux has got a bit interesting here as well. Tux has actually got a bit more than he can choose. Actually even got the Scout, which you don't want. Get rid of it, bro. Otherwise Neo's going to absolutely blast you, PC at the trade. And I've got to say, Vision has got himself into a very interesting predicament. He's got past window. PC's on the angle, expecting the guy to check out Bleed Tidy. Going to be blasted away. I do know it's out there, Kiro, but I don't think many people know. Who's replacing? You gotta find out who's replacing. It's actually really, really sad. Addict has not had a few months. Okay, when Addict played in EU against those teams, he had 1 month of playing with Semper Fi. I believe that was the case when he went to EU, because they picked up Hazard and Addict as a package deal for Ali and Valiance. Actually being thrown in, Apok died. Gets the first Vision, beautiful, oh jeez. Skele! You guys were having such good on the CT side. Tidy, just get something done here. Takes out Omachella. Tidy can hold the line, but it's a twisties in the locker. In the lock. Ooh, beautiful shot to Vision. He definitely knows someone's playing A main though. Gonna keep that smoke. Tux, I wonder if he wants to throw a Molotov in there. He doesn't need to. He's gonna throw a Molotov towards triple. Doesn't trust it. BZ's gonna say it's completely clear. Missed shot. I reckon they could go B. Yeah, I was gonna say, I reckon they could go B because PZ hasn't been aggressed from short. And they could ascertain no one's on B. Short play would have had a freebie if they aggressed. Arctic's gonna be very careful here. Well, PZ's just dropped off the line. Arctic could get a 2k here because PZ won't be able to trade this, surely. Oh, jeez. Arctic makes a meal of that, out of that. And it should be very easy for Apok that he can just sit here all day, communicate all the rotates, telling that one player was rotated over. Oh, jeez. Tidy's not checking it. It's gonna be 1. So Tidy as well. Apok Dud can just tuck in. Molotov get thrown in. Apok Dud has to swing. No, he doesn't. Somehow the Molotov doesn't go to him. Tidy gonna be feeling really peeved about that one. But nah, it's gonna be 13-6. Not really much you can do there. And I'd say overall PZ definitely starring there. I was a bit worried about Ground Zero's T side there, because their T side, I mean, there's a lot of, other than the last 2 rounds, there was a lot of uneven trades. I mean, the 3-for-1 in one of those rounds where both play, like, you know, they flashed our own teammates, just you can't have 298 damage going out for only 1 kill. That's pretty much it. So 13-6 in the end. PZ with 21 kills, 11 deaths, 4 assists. Like I say, probably one of those games that you, you know, basically want to forget for Omachella. I say on the other end though, Skele, you know, Arctic, Neo being up there. I've got to say, even though Arctic's got the higher KDA, I think Neo is probably the main player there, in particular to a lot of their rounds that Skele won on the CT side. The main reason I'm going to say that is that, you know, Neo got a lot of critical shots and a lot of critical advantages that would have been definitely, like, you know, not possible for Skele to win rounds without those interventions and whatnot. And not to mention as well, you know, the round that Skele lost to make it 12-6 in the end. I mean, Neo put themselves into such a really, really good position before Tux got a quick 2k entry, which is going to annoy, you know, go frustrate a lot of these players, at least. Well, they were probably up 3-0 because they won the pistol, then won against the Force Spy, and then won against the Eco afterwards, and then lost to my round. That's probably what happened, sir. Probably exactly what happened. Let's see, I can check that actually. Yeah, that's exactly how that happened. Oh yeah, it only gets a lot easier when you get to the later stages. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. They full sport the second round. They lost the second round. And yeah. Gun round, they kept winning. Yeah, pretty much it. What do you consider to be a major in CS? Europe. Europe is like their major region by miles. Why are Fury in a tournament? They've changed a different team. Like that roster that's in there, it's not eligible for ECL. That paint team's been dead for a while. No. There's a new team. Like, there's a new team for that Fury roster, but they're not eligible for ECL due to roster restrictions, like from the VRS point of view. So that's the main reason. I'd say overall, like with this Ground Zero Skele game, Ground Zero have great CT sides, but their T sides need a lot of work. And we go to Ground Zero's map pick, which is Inferno, and Ground Zero have a pretty decent CT side Inferno, but a so-so T side Inferno. Mark and Larry are serious underdogs. I don't rate them too much serious as serious underdogs. They've got Rufflecoat, Brace, and your Wombat. They've got 3 veterans in that team that were in the Vertex roster, and they're very good at shooting. And they've got Michaelis, who was really good back in the day as well. When he played for, geez, this is actually quite a long time ago. I'm trying to remember what Michaelis played for. I know he did some obs, because he obs with me. Unless it's a different person. But I don't think they're a serial underdog. They're something you can't really ignore, but I don't think they're an underdog, because that team is actually quite good. Because you got... Yeah, Zeph is, I don't think they are Zeph. But, yeah, if Zeph plays, pretty decent as well. They've got a really pretty good team. I'm trying to figure out who Michaelis played for previously. I'm trying to remember. I know he played for Looking for Org for a time as a sub. That's right, Bance. He was in the Bance roster, the original Bance roster back in the day. And he was replaced with, I think he was replaced with a few other players as well. Because he's filled in for a lot of teams as well. I think he was replaced by Soju in Bance, as far as I know. You know, actually, this Bance roster was way before they brought in their big changes. Like, this is a long time ago. Like, basically, they overhauled that team to bring in, they bring in Ruffleco, they brought in Brace, they brought in, PZ, and that team went ham. Like, this is like the OG roster, like, yeah, let's just put it that way. Unless, no, I think it was the Bance roster after Vertex. Yeah, it was the Bance roster after Vertex, where they just had to submit a team. Would you see Savage that don't see talent? Savage is alright. Savage is a pretty decent player. Would I have someone to replace him? Yes, potentially, but there's very few players. Like, Savage does play his role pretty well as support. A lot of people keep going into this. Savage needs to be replaced. Savage is a thing of nepotism. No, Savage is a pretty decent player. He's the weakest link of Semper Fi, but not by far. Like, I really dislike people saying he gets in for nepotism. It's just a slack excuse. Very, very slack excuse. Because the thing is, like, he steps up when he needs to step up, and he has won rounds for Semper Fi and stuff like that as well. Well, it doesn't matter if his father owns the org. If you're being like, it's nepotism because his dad owns the org, it's not really a reason, it's just more of an excuse. Because I can tell you a lot of other players who are very cushy, who play Pro CS, are very cushy in their lifestyle. I could tell you Draken, in particular, is one of them. Like, Draken is from a very incredibly rich family, okay? Incredibly rich family. And you can see Draken competing a lot in these pro teams. Like, I don't think Savage views it as a safety cushion. I think Savage is very competitive in himself. I just think it's a very, very slack excuse to be like, he's only in the team because his dad owns the org. I think it's a very weak excuse, or a very weak, reasoning and stuff like that to be critical of his gameplay with. Draken is from a rich family. He is. He's from a rich family. Very, very rich family. The Swedish author. So I wouldn't say, you know, just because a person is from, you know, a fortunate background or has a privileged sort of thing, can't be competitive or isn't competitive at all. There's a few things Savage has to work on, but I've got to say a lot of the criticisms always draws back to that his dad owns the org, which is a very weak sort of criticism. Because like there are things like, you know, for example, you know, like, you know, with a lot of support players, which arguably Savage is, you know, the nade setups, the flashes, you know, getting his team in correctly. I mean, I think there's like, you know, multiple times where he hasn't team flashed anyone. Flashes have been pretty decent. It's more just expanding his repertoire as a support player, to be honest. Would I replace Savage on Semper Fi? Yeah, definitely. There's a few players you could replace him with. Obviously, Slimy being one of them. But I'd say overall, like, you wouldn't get too much output, you know, extra output from replacing him. Like, I wouldn't. Like, a lot of people expected a lot of output when JKS joined the team, and I'm like, FlyQuest is still going to be below a top 20 team at best. And look where FlyQuest are, top 30, top 40, you know, round about that area. Because JKS is not that much big of an upgrade anymore. Because, like, basically back in the day, a player like JKS would put you in the top 10 easily. But however, in the world of Zywu, Donk, and a lot of other, you know, mechanically gifted players, a player like JKS is going to put you like top 20, maybe top 30. You know, their skill level has greatly risen so much that, you know, you need a mechanically insane player just to win a tournament. You know, you need a Monacy. You know, back in the day, you had like, you know, Simple, and that's it. That was your mechanically gifted player. Now you have Monacy. Now you have Zywu. Now you have Donk. You have like 3 mechanically insane players, and you have like Rops and a few others that, you know, highly skilled, high ceiling and whatnot. And it's just not like what it was back 4 or 5 years ago. Like, you know, there's so many Sharpies and mechanically gifted players that are popping in now that, you know, it's lifted tremendously. And a lot of people write off a lot of these tier 8s or tier 7 EU teams. They're quite good. Like, that European scene in particular, like, it is incredibly competitive with the amount of LANs they play, the amount of onlines they play, and whatnot. They are so locked in, it's not funny. Like, you know, the aim is always on point and stuff like that as well. The only downside, which is what, I forget his name, he used to play for Singularity, Emil, which is, I forget his name. Emil, he plays for Singularity ages ago. He said, the downtime is that they don't get much time to prac because they have to participate in a lot of these tournaments. That's the downside, but a lot of these European teams are so sharp. Like, you know, aim's on point, their nades are on point. They prac quite a lot because they, you know, they can be paid to do so and, you know, generate a lot of the money from these tier 2 tournaments. So, like, you know, I gotta say overall with OCE players going to EU, you have to drop their rating by probably about 0.4 or 0.5 because when they go to European and whatnot, they just get sat on their asses because these European players are incredible. Like, they have experienced so many different styles of CS that, like, you know, an Aussie style or OCE style is not relatively new to them. You know, they've experienced it. They also watch demos to, you know, I can tell you right now, AAB had Skybox at LAN, Monty had Skybox at LAN, hashtag sponsored because I was paid by them previously, but all these teams at LAN, at DreamHack Knockout, at least 75% of them had Skybox, and they were there an hour before their game, or 2 hours before their game, watching the other team's Skybox. In fact, one of the teams, I think it was OG, after they finished their game, they were watching Skybox for the next opponent. Okay? Their opponent in playoffs. They were watching Skybox already. So, like, these European teams, they go from playing, bang, straight to study. You know, bit of a break, bang to study. You know, look at the players, look at the utility and whatnot. And it was, you know, straight to review. Like, it was like, you know, these guys, like, these European teams, like, you know, they're working like clockwork. They're working like clockwork. Like, compared to the OC scene, which, with the OC scene, it's like the European scene, and then you divide it by 100, where you have, like, you know, you have your 2, 3, or 4 good teams, your pugs, and you shove them in a league, and you have the really good teams that shit on those little teams over and over again, and the good teams play each other all so much. But the problem is, there's not a great variety of strategy between the good teams. And it gets to a point, which happens in tier 1, where you're just basically counter-stratting each other. That's literally it. There's, like, just counter-stratting each other, or trying to counter-strat each other. So that's what generally has occurred at the moment. So when these AU teams go to EU, they get beaten. And some of them get beaten quite soundly, because some of their prac has been just to counter the AU teams that they're playing. Now, the most disappointing thing I've seen in a while is Semperfi not picking Nuke anymore. I thought Semperfi's Nuke was relatively good. Like, watching Semperfi play Nuke back in the day, when they averaged 7 rounds on the T side, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Like, the biggest thing I could say about them to critique them was that their CT side is never really tested at all on Nuke. Like, that's my biggest criticism. They could do, you know, get down the secret. They could wrap around on you, come out from heaven. They could obviously rush ramp and rush hunt squeaky. They could slowly and surely choke out the map and pretty much split your sides and just hit a site and just win around. Like, a lot of these Australian teams that try to play Semperfi and Nuke, other than I think it was X-Talon. No, X-Talon never played them on Nuke, actually. Like, all these teams that tried to play them on Nuke, they just couldn't compete. They just had no idea. It was just hopeless for them. Okay, like absolutely hopeless, because they just had to consider that Semperfi could do 15 different strategies on them, and trying to suss out what information's what was incredibly difficult for them. And they just got back, like, you know, basically a lot of teams just, you know, pretty much just gave that Semperfi were going to get 6 or 7 T side rounds on them. And they're just going to hope their T-side round worked, because Semperfi never get deep enough into their CT sides to really test it. Because, like you know, Nuke getting 7 T-side rounds is, on average, considered map over. I also remember that stat getting checked at LAN on HLTV, because someone was trying to check my stat page, whether I was correct or not about the 7 average rounds, and I'm like, you can check it. You can absolutely check it. You can take it to the bank, because it's absolutely true. But we're getting here to ground 0 and Skele. And I go to say, ground 0 on the CT side. Skele, guys. Okay, I'm gonna say it here for Skele. Oh, this is not friend, never mind. Thank God it isn't the pistol, because I was gonna say giving them CT side is not a good idea. For Skele here, make sure you pick CT side, because I gotta say, nothing spells scoreboard pressure more than a ground 0 trying to do T-side. But it's actually a bit odd though, because ground 0 has had a few good T-sides. They had a good T-side on land, which was very, very unique. But yeah, it's just the T-side woes have just come back to haunt them. I don't like it. You know, I really, really don't like it. So Skele will most likely be on the CT side, because I'm going to say right now CT side is probably the best bet if they want to put the scoreboard pressure on. Obviously, last map Mirage, ground 0 stomped on the CT side, but the T side left a lot to be desired. But they got the points in the end. They got the biggies. They got over the line, and that's all that matters. Getting a 13. On the scoreboard. This round coming in. Bits of util being thrown in. Actually free. No, not thrown in. Free smokes. 2 flashes. A lot of util actually here. Vision rushing up. Trying to get some banana control. And about 4 players on the A site from Skele. 1 player on B being Neo with the dualies. Playing at coffins. Lucas just trying to pick middles. Trying to see if there's any ground 0 guys coming in. And ground 0 not showing themselves. Peeking in from Cubby. Near Cubby. PZ. Just pushing up slowly. Don't want to give any info yet. Neo getting ready to throw his HE grenade, trying to do as much damage as he can. They don't have helmets. There's not much armor here, so this HE could get a double kill at least. Unless he gets mollied out, which is probably likely actually. They'll throw potentially the Molotov at coffins. They will not. Molotov in front of new box. He's getting ready for a HE being thrown in. Will do a bit of damage, but not as much as you would have hoped. Did he see Vision go past there? Bomb is going to be planted. Might try and spam Apoc Dud out, but Apoc Dud has got the plant in the end. Gotta say, ground 0 committing a lot of people to that banana defense. In fact, PZ is just checking it again. Smoke being thrown in. Neo's got 1 second out the shadow player in vision. Neo takes a bit of damage. Can they get a bit more here? Oh, looks like they push through. It's supposed to be a 2 for 1 actually. Now it's only the players left in the banana area. Bomb is getting tapped. Now PZ not peek. He doesn't want to peek. He's going to draw back. He's going to make sure they don't get a defuse. He's got 1 Goosh. Can he get a second? He does get a second Goosh. He knows the player's defusing it. They're not going to be able to stop it. PZ's done it. But all he needs is just get Neo off the bomb. And a first round on the board for Ground Zero. And PZ, what an absolute steal for a 4K. Steals the round away. Skele, perfect push through the smoke. Catches Apoc Dud. Apoc Dud's got too many players around him. Due to the overcommitment of Ground Zero in Banana. They get control of the site. You know, Banana defenders desperately defending. The bomb's not even planted for them. And PZ able to just snipe out these 2 players here and catch a Neo on the bomb and just get him off. And that's all they needed to do. Just get him off the bomb. Let the time tick out. And there we go. I'm going to say Skele, that's another one. They've had 2 of these rounds so far where they've just given these rounds away. They had one earlier, 4v2 on the B bomb side of Mirage. And Tux gets a free K to prevent them from planting and just ends the round right there. And that's just another one. Pistol round. 3v1. And I got to say, it's probably even a more dire position than the B site Mirage. Probably not going to be too happy with that one. I couldn't imagine. It's a round you don't want to be losing like that. I mean, I was surprised. I think one of them did pick up the Glock in the end. I think overall the USPs are great at the start, but once you get scrapping on the site, the part of the bomb, you got to grab those Glocks relatively quickly. It's just a quicker fire rate and the better body shot damage. It's just so much better than the USPs. Motion of a Deagle and a Dream, trying to catch the alley player. Bomb's already skirted across. Is he going to check alt mid? But they've heard a Deagle shot. Omachella's just interested. Vision. Oh, geez, Omachella take motion. Takes down Omachella in the end. That's an AK recovered. And Tux has given himself away. So Tux takes the Deagle shot. Oh, takes down motion with a fadeaway. Picks the Glue in the end. And that's the flank dealt with. But the problem is they've lost a lot of ground. Due to that, our Tux, oh, beautiful shot by Arctic with the 5-7, and they are going to push in, most likely to this B side. Given on his def cam, we would have seen 2 players potentially. There's a lot of chatter going on, and I'm not sure what that chatter is about. HE grenade being thrown in, and Neo is a dead player. Does get a dink though. I wonder what the chatter's on about, basically, because there's a lot of chatter going on into the chat. Gonna clear out the site, I would clear out Shadow too. Bomb gonna be planted. Re-smoke coming in, Arctic. Let's take down Vision. And that's the smoke gone. Apoc Dud to trade. That's a good trade as well. Now Apoc Dud opening up the angle to 5-7's going to be strong here. Lucas just needs a headshot. Oh, doesn't even get a chance. Absolutely pushed away. Arctic with the Galil and a Dream. No armor, which is going to be his downfall given the D's wet now on a cross. Looking towards Shadow. Apoc Dud seals it. 2-0 on the board. Just going to check quickly as well. I'm going to check into the chat to make sure it's PG friendly. Nothing in chat. There was a bit of chatter, you could hear it going off. But there's nothing in it. Two nothing. Gonna say, Ground Zero looking pretty good. Motion of the AWP should get a play here this time. Molotov being thrown in, or would bait as well, and they may have seen Motion on the angle. Motion looking at alt mid, is gonna get smoked. Courtesy of, Omachella might get naded too. And he is going to get naded. He's going to go for a shot. And Neo being heavily tagged. Will be a 1-for-1 in the other end though. HE looking for that second player. Given that Neo went aggressively out by himself. But it was actually just a backup on the B bomb side to put 3 players over. Surprisingly, it's not the AWP. The AWP, obviously on motion, electing to defend long. Mochella's actually got himself a good angle here, holding quad slightly as well. Smoke can be thrown towards Library. Secondary smoke going in towards Arch as well. Could be a forced rotate coming in from Lucas. Tidy trying to hold this site. Execute is just imminent here. Tidy not sure where to go. Flashbang goes thrown in motion. Through the fire and the flames. Can't see. Gets his kill that he needs. PZ looking for the AWP. Takes down Lucas on sights. Waiting for Motion to peek. Motion goes down. Hits his own teammate as well. Basically tidy. What can he do here? 1, 2. Can't get the other 2. Just needed just a clean spray. And it's just all up to Arctic in this 1v2. A bit of a delay on the bomb plant, which was in Arctic's favor slightly. Means that Vision won't be in a great location. I wonder if Vision's going to play a headshot angle. He is. Arctic. And a 1v2. Doable 1v2. If he catches out one of his players early, catches a foot or anything like that. Vision. Jeez, doesn't even give him a chance. Arctic has half a second before Vision blows his brains out. And it's a 3-0 for GZ. For ground 0. Vision's been very sharp on a lot of these peek outs here. He's been like peeking out these boxes and just immediately just taking it off someone's head. Great work by PZ in the entry, getting a 2k with the AK. I gotta say, you know, ground 0 has had some sharp shots, and that one was a scary one for Vision. Just steps out. Arctic, not even a chance, man. Probably only got, you know, probably only reacted just as he saw his death screen. Given how quick that was. Anti-eco coming in. Ground 0 having a very, very good T side at the moment. No over-aggression from Neo, but the double HE. Oh no, the Molotov was not thrown well enough. But they're still charging it anyway. Overchelli's got one. Lucas on the other end gets another. But he should be trained out by Vision and is. And that is a safe call. Sux might actually go in there to see if he can get a few kills, but I think they're not going to risk it. Just put the smoke up. End around. Not the thing you want to do. You don't want to go hunting for kills like, you know, Mac 10s and whatnot. Especially when your team has a lot of money already. Well, they will get a lot of money shortly. And the last thing you want to do is just give away a few rifles or give away Mac 10 or give him even the hope that he can retake. Oh, jeez. Tidy, he's got 1, he's got 2. Can he get a 3rd? Fortunately, Vision able to make sure that the guns aren't taken away. For nothing to GZ. Just checking the other game at the moment because I did give a challenge to Low Cortisol to get more than 10 rounds across the series. And I'm going to be straight up and saying this. They are not looking like they're going to achieve it at this point, okay? Definitely not. Vision gets the open on Neo. I'm going to say I think Neo may want to reconsider going aggressive on towards Banana because he's been caught out, or not caught out, but he's being planned for. He's being prepared for. Because Ground 0 have been very passive on those banana tanks, now going very aggressive, expecting a fight almost immediately. Flashbang being thrown in, motions off the angle and giving himself away. They know where the AWP is. And PZ, he's going to slink in. Good trade there on the other side, Arctic. He's got 1. Tidy's going to be very careful here because PZ is going to slip the net. And did Tidy see it? I don't think, given that Tidy moved, he saw it. PZ just going to flank around. Should take out Tidy here. Tidy not going to have a chance at all. He's got all the A defenders here. And all he has to do, he's got 1, he's got 2. Great work by PZ. Nom nom nom. Should be traded out though. PZ saw the shadow, but he had his knife out. Now coming in from the edges, Arctic. Arctic, he's going to be the last defender. Taken out by Tux. Gonna say there by PZ, you did your job, but didn't do it fully. Unfortunately, you do have backup. And that's going to be a 5th round on the board. Lucas can't really do anything. And Lucas, I think he's going to make sure that he doesn't get targeted either. So Lucas just playing off an off angle at Church. Gotta say, Opok Data's looking. Lucas gonna be a bit careful here. Molotov fronted towards a new box. I don't think Apoc Dud is looking seriously, is he? Making a lot of noise, gonna be making Lucas nervous. You can see Lucas getting edgy on the swing, he's getting ready to swing. 5 rounds on the board for ground 0, and I gotta say, it's actually a very incredible T half. Great ground 0. You know what the funny part is? If Ground Zero win the next 2 rounds, Skele might have the worst CT side on OCE at half. Potentially. Which is, just FYI, the worst was by Mind Freak. Just 5 CT rounds. But to be fair though, you're against Ground Zero, who's a Inferno aficionado. Neo. HE been thrown down, does a bit of damage instead. That passive play does reward him a bit of dividends as well. Easy Envision walking wounded, and oh geez, Neo takes a point of damage. Gotta be a bit careful there. Smoke's been thrown in, and Epoch aware that no one's there. Neo gonna throw another nade potentially if he gets a chance. Throw it deeper. Somehow does no damage, I'm gonna say. It lands in between Apoc and Vision. Now Vision. Put up the lurk there as well. They can swing onto the A side. The problem is with the A side though, they've got quad control. And I think they're playing 4-1. Vision's aware of this, and Neo is not there. And I think they're going to be aware that they're playing 1-4. They're playing 4 on A and 1 on B. So they might exit onto B here to try and force the A rotates early. And they've got the perfect cross to counter that as well. Molotov being thrown down. Smoke being thrown into Neo. Neo's going to have to adjust. Neo throws that Molotov a lot early, but they don't have much utility to really begin with. Molotov's being thrown in. Backup coming in as well, coming from Motion. Late lurk coming in from the A bomb side. I think they've got it, and I think he's going to have one tied in. He will. Now, meanwhile, on the entry, Vision's got one onto Neo. Doesn't know about the second play in Motion. Ovicella's got another as well, but they're going to drop as well. It's going to go for the site, and basically PZ rushing through. Going to be a quick flank coming in from Tidy. Going to make sure they don't get any post-plant positions. The Vision playing sandbags. PZ's got the AWP, and Tidy might be a counter before he even has the chance. Is he going to throw in a Molotov to potentially counter, or they're going to play for exits? Yeah, I think they're going to play for exits here. Tidy in a good location to play for exits. Especially deep into alley. Actually, I think they're going for the save call instead. You're thinking they were going for exits given the aggressive positioning he was, but now that's going into a save instead. That's going to be 6 rounds on the board. The Ground Zero. Let's see some aggression here. Tidy, early Molotov as well. Will that land? No, it did. I don't think anyone got damaged by it. Apoc died posting up. He's got the bomb as well, so they're going to be very careful with it. Ovicella's going to run in front of him instead. Molotov being thrown in. Tidy, and see. Can he get a bit more? He does, and the bomb too. Bomb's in a perilous area as well. Tidy's going to elect to go through to smoke instead. They're accelerating the plans on the side, but Tidy's going to accelerate his plans. Printed out by PZ. Vision's got another on the early flank coming in from Banana. And this chaos has created a winning scenario here for Skele. PZ hasn't been seen yet. Arctic just checking. He doesn't see PZ at all. HE being thrown in. Arctic gonna have to peek now. PZ should get another. He knows where the player is. Gets the AK out. I'm gonna say that's a bit of a give me there by Motion. Actually, legs PZ in the end. Now this clutch is made even harder. At least, you know, at the end of the day, at least Motion didn't completely miss. And Motion's going to just get the AK out himself. He knows he's legged PZ. We're going to play a ring around the rosies. Motion, hopefully he's not outplaying himself though. He knows PZ has the bomb. He is definitely outplaying himself here. PZ going for the simple answer. Just go onto the A site. Problem is with PZ, he's got to clear out a lot of angles. And I think he's going to be caught out before he clears out Diggity, a pit. Should be caught out about now. No, Motion doesn't dig in a bit deeper. Motion, who's been seen. Flashbang being thrown in. PZ. Can he get the bomb down? Motion electing not to go for it just in case PZ's faking it. PZ just dropping back, but he doesn't know where the other player is. PZ's heard Lucas now. That's a dead man. Goes on 1 HP. Lucas trying to finish him off, but he can't. He's going for the wallbang as well. Oh, jeez, they can't hit him. Another HE being thrown in. Misses. PZ on these little pixel angles. trying to keep the round alive, but Skele's got the first round of the board and try to fend off the worst CT side, a full CT side on Inferno. I was getting a bit worried there, you know, and then, you know, basically PC living on 1 HP from a HE, and then missing a few shots here and there that they weren't going to be able to convert it over, that they were going to fall apart at the finish line. Getting a bit worried about that. You know when a team, like, you know, everything's just going against them, you think, oh no, they're going to lose this round, aren't they? Early Molotov. UHEs might be thrown as well, given the utility being thrown and get worked by Neo. This time does clobber Apoc Dud with a bit of damage. A few players actually went under it and ahead of it as well. So I'm not sure if Neo's going to be a bit surprised if he does lose this duel against Vision. That Vision's full HP. Flashbang being thrown in, Vision would have seen Neo. See, spots the side profile. Lucas heavily damaged. Vision easy to peek away. And Neo, ooh, actually beautiful reflexes there from Neo. I think Apoc Dud, did he see a cross? I'm not sure actually. And they're going to go pressure onto the A side instead. Motion, gonna be smoked off. They're not going to peek out. Michela taken out by Arctic. A little bit of woes going in here. Jeez, Arctic has just finished them all off. And that's the round over. And pretty much Apoc Dud can't do anything. That should be a second round on the board for Skele. And it's actually going to put Ground Zero in a precarious position here. Apoc Dud got the AK in hand. Because I think they will commit to this Force Buy next round. I think they have to at this stage, commit to the Force Buy. But it's just, what do you go into? I guess some Tech 9s, you know, just get some AKs and some Tech 9s backing it. Because that would work. Apoc Dud just checking his corners. He's going to keep this AK. I think that's exactly what they're going to do. You know, put some Tech 9s behind his AKs and see what they can do. Because I can say overall with Ground Zero of the repertoire, a lot of their rounds have been just dicing apart Skele's defenses. I wonder how it would go if they rush a site, essentially. Like if they just went full bang into a site. Now here's the discussion, what sort of buy they're going to go with. Apoc Dud did collect the smoke on a Molotov, so they've got that. I'm a bit surprised they're going for a hero. No, there we go. Getting some upgrades. A bit surprised that that seems here that Ground Zero don't want to force it all in yet. They do have enough money for a buy next round, so they're probably like, you know what, hold up guys. Let's see what we can get out here. Aggressiveness from Skele. A lot of Molotovs being thrown in towards Banana. You can see fire everywhere. Hero, AK, and Apoc Dud. I guess overall for Apoc Dud, just want to stay around your teammates. You want to chuck around that AK if you do go down in the end. Apoc Dud leading the charge. Just gotta make sure you just don't lose that AK in an area where you can't be traded out. Flashbang being thrown in, tidy on off angle. Apoc Dud goes down. That's the AK lost. And in the end, Tux does get the kill in the end, and that's going to be a gun picked up at least. Tux trying to recover that AK from Apoc Dud, unfortunately. Third player drop. Might be able to recover it. Flashbang goes in. Doesn't see any of the players, but that's an AK recovered. They can actually drop back here and reset. They've got 2 rifles now to play with. And unfortunately, Omi doesn't have any armor. I should chuck at the PZ, really. Because PZ has full armor. Like, Omicelli can just go on with a Glock and see what helps. Oh, jeez, Neo. Oh, Neo is almost rotating. And this is the worst because they can just wander into sight for free. Can they get any big kills here? They can't. And they know they're jumping all in. Oh, jeez, Tux goes down. Omicelli spraying through the smoke. He drops towards Lucas as well. Bombs dropped at Oranges on the first box. I don't know about PZ, though. Should be able to win this round. I don't imagine them losing it. Nero's spots PZ. No damage taken. And power by the numbers. Lucas and Neo work together to make it free on the board, and Skele are making a return. I can see this is the scenario that they wanted to play for. Like the absolute scenario they want to play for here. For Ground Zero. They didn't want to, like, they didn't really need to risk it at all. So they didn't really need to put, you know, their chips in. Because at the end of the day, like if they force bought and then lost, it would have been an eco regardless. But if they only just you know, one round, they lose. They can buy in next anyway. And that's exactly what they've done. Vision of the AK charging in. Molotov getting ready to go. I gotta say, this early aggression from Neo is actually dictating a lot of these rounds on his terms. First box player just dropping. Flashbang goes in. Neo blinded by his own flash. Just wasn't quick enough. And Apoc does got a 2k entry. Tidy with the trade. Smoke wasn't thrown. Apoc does trying to run through. Another HE has actually given the kit back to them, but they all have kits anyway. They're just trying to make sure that the bomb did not cross, and they're trying to put a lot of pressure on that bomb crossing. PZ's heard the reloads, and that allows them to cross, and the re-smoke goes up. Do they go for this? This is a big question here for Skele. If they get a pick, they will go for it. If they don't, it's going to be a save call, because their money... this is a hard one. This is a hard one. They got to save it, unfortunately. They've got no info on site. Like, they've got money to invest in the next 2 rounds at least, like, including this one if they lose all the weapons. But yeah, you don't want to have no weapons for the last round and a half. And that's going to put ground 0 and 7. Gotta say here, PZ getting a bit greedy. Motion swipe it out of his hands. Motion does swipe it out of his hands. Greed is bad, PZ. Be round number 7 for GZ. Ground 0, I gotta say, it's a rarity that they have a winning T side, given that their T side recently has been quite terrible. Early Molotov. Oh, beautiful shot by Motion. Taking down, tucks down early. Motion, can he ready up? Not Tidy. He's going to have a lot of people run at him. Flashes have been thrown in. Tidy should get a 2k. Does he? Oh, no way. Taken out by Omochella in the end. He was just half a second late from getting into these. Omochella charging in as well. And they've realized they've lost long. PZ able to just peek his way back in towards Moto Cubby. And he's just going to chill there as well. And this is a problem here for Skele. They might be forced to push aggressively or consider behind them as well. Neo's going to consider that. He doesn't see anyone behind him, but he's just going to walk into it. He's going to slow down his movement, but his Omochella's already heard it. Or does he? Well, someone's heard it. Oh, no, they haven't heard it. And he's going to get 2k. Neo gets 2k and the bomb. Probably in the worst area ever. Oh, no, Neo, don't get your knife out. Oh, no, a bit of a disaster there. Neo could have had it all, could have won around there. I still want a really, really good scenario. Arctic sneaking through. Can he find PZ? Oh man, they're going to go past each other. He's heard some movement. Arctic swiped by Vision. And Tiny just made a step at possibly the worst moment. And PZ has cleaned up Motion. And Skele are going to have probably the worst CT side half by an OCE team. A full CT half for quite a while. Which is actually quite surprising considering that no one's got, like, you know, 1 or 2 rounds or even 3 rounds in the CT side of Inferno. Motion, can he get a pick? Every time I spectate Motion, he doesn't get an early pick. But except this time, he does. Omochella straight in the chest. It's just Skele, I've got to say, in these scenarios where they get these early round picks, they've just got to capitalize on it. Like, sometimes when they get a 5v4 advantage, they still lose the round to ground 0. Like, it must be really, really frustrating at the stage to just keep losing these 5v4 scenarios to ground 0. Especially a team that's not known for their T sides. They're more known for their CT sides. But arguably so, you could say it's their map pick. Also give you an update as well, I believe. Did they get over 10 rounds? Haven't got over 10 rounds yet. They've got 8 rounds in the series, low cortisol, if you guys are counting. Motion. Started once before. They're testing him. Motion, keeping that out, but quite misses the shot barely onto PZ. PZ moving after him like a hyena hunting its prey. Takes up space, takes all that banana control, and now they're going to hit the A side instead. Arctic in the perfect position, and Arctic Vision is going to get a lot of kills here because there's 4 on the A side, and they can't dislodge all of them. Arctic only gets 1, but a 2-for-1 trade's good enough for everyone else. Tidy gets a third as well, makes it a 3-for-1 trade. Looking for Tidy, PZ finds him. Not going to look at the player in Cold Zera, is he? Oh, he's not going to have enough time. Is he going to check the player in Cold Zera? Nah, he's dead. Easy for Lucas. 4 rounds on the board for Skele in the end of the half. And look at that scoreboard from PZ, man. 13 kills, top fragging, and top assisting on server. That's just nuts. And I've got to say, look at the Arctic and Tidy and Neo. Like, look at that damage. Like, they've done so much damage, yet they still lose rounds. It's gonna be so frustrating. So frustrating. Like, in fact, GZ has done less damage, total damage, than Skele. And they're up 8-4. I guess you could say CT side bias and whatnot. But it must be so frustrating to do all of this damage and still lose rounds due to have to save and whatnot. GZ. 3-2 setup. 2 players on the cross at A. 3 players on B, 1 at Fountain. And Skele launching up a B aggression. Straight up banana. Utility getting ready. And they are, in about 10 seconds, we are going to see an absolute brawl on the side as well. Not to mention as well, Oceania has been boosted up on the flower pots. He's ready to go. Smokes, flashes, everything you want. It's coming in now. Oceania also being smoked as well. They're looking for him. They had a drop. Apox Stud's got 1, but he's going to be traded out. Now the rotate's coming in as well. Meanwhile, on the side, there's a bit of a brawl. Can they find a bit more? They do, but they actually... Oceania's actually tucked himself out. He actually went from the cross. Now he's got 2 more. He's got 1. Might be able to stop the bomb from being planted. Lucas, he's going to get some gooshes. He does get 1, but he forgets PZ has the dualies. And they've got a quicker fire rate and ground 0. Too many battles going at the same time. There's a battle down here, which ground 0 won. And this battle has to go the way of Skele. Has to go the way of Skele here to get a plant. But it just turns out to be a draw. They let Omochella reconnect with his teammates. And that's pretty much where the round was lost. Letting Omi just get out. So it's a 3v2. They can trade off each other. That's where the round's lost, unfortunately. And they were just probably seconds away of like tagging Omochella. Oh, you playing Baby Shark? He's trying to do the Flammus strategy of playing Baby Shark and winning a Fueco. I don't think that's going to work. I don't think Arctic knows how to play Baby Shark on the Inferno Bells. Motion being tagged up heavily. Actually tags up Omochella heavily as well. This cross is not going to be super strong because Motion's done a lot of damage. They haven't actually moved, which is the surprising part. Dio the 1D takes out Tux, and Tux has got no real reinforcement. Apoc dud. Let's see what he's going to do. Jeez, he's not hitting any shots. And he's actually under a lot of pressure already. He's actually taking a body shot from the Deagle as well. They may accelerate this, and they should accelerate this. And Omochella's come to rotate, but he's got no HP either. PZ catches out Motion. That smoke is going to be respected. Trying to catch out Apoc dud. If they catch out Apoc dud, they will go. Because they know he's walking wounded. They're going to go anyway. They don't care. Omochella. It's walking around. Oh, he's going to catch Tidy. That's the bomb dropped for temporarily. Now Apoc dud. Bomb's going to be planted. Not really much they can do. Rotate's coming through. Vision. They should just give him the rifle. I mean, you're in a scenario where you could lose this round. PZ coming to flank up Banana. Time's ticking. They do not have a kit. So they're going to be very quick in dismantling this, which I don't think they will be. Near the 1D, Omochella the trade. PZ dismantles that defense, coming in from behind as Arctic. Arctic takes out Omochella, being traded out by Vision. Is Vision finding the bomb in time? This is going to be a race against time. It's going to come down to possibly the final seconds. And has Vision got it? Does he see something that we don't? And he does! He does see something we don't. I don't think he's going to have the time to defuse it. And he does. Gets the pliers out. Buys a kit because he should have bought a kit. Someone should have bought a kit. And 10 rounds on the board for ground 0. The last game left, of course, you know, this game was competitive. You guys didn't believe me. You guys were like, nah, this is going to be a stomp. TDU1? The most important thing, did Cortisol get 10 rounds, okay? Did Cortisol get 10 rounds? Did they? Okay, I set them a challenge. Did they get 10 rounds across the series? Guys, you gonna help me out? No? Oh, come on! It's cheering for them, okay? I deliberately, like, riled them up. I was like, you never get over 10 rounds of the series. Damn it, I hate it. I hate it. Unfortunate, but either way, tidy. Oh, they gave away a Molotov cube. So they know someone's around here, so they're gonna check this. I wonder if they can just abuse this. Oh, he's been seen, and Vision's gonna be like, here, have a lovely present on ground zero. PZ's not gonna peek unless a flash is thrown in. Flash is thrown in, Tidy looks away. Tidy gets out the broom. Cleans up PZ. Flash wasn't the greatest. I know a person who can flash very well, very good support player. They could use him. Wink, wink. 1.08 seconds, enemies blinded. Skele ignoring the smokes. And they are going to find a free B site potentially because Tux can cut him off at the pass. Domicella catches down motion. And they surely hurt Tux. They cross. And Tux knows one's gone through. Early flank coming in as well. And I've got to say, a Banana player should be ready for this, and he is. Arctic got one. Can he get a second? He does get a second. That's round over. Unless they give away a silly kill. Tux in a 1v3. Should be an easy one here. Oh, guys! Watch the cross! Tidy. Gets the mop bucket out. Puts Tux into it. Dr. Gianni Tor at the moment. How did he miss? No, I think the worst part, I think the most criminal part is the fact this cross isn't set up and Neo's looking like this. You even have your Banana player looking here and your Shadow player looking here because they know Tux is around this area. Like, that's what I'm more angered about. I'm not angered about the miss. I'm more angered about how he had the opportunity to do that. Eco, 5-7s in a dream with a hero M4. Apoc does just gonna throw a nade at you, okay? And it's gonna do a wee bit of damage to Neo, but yeah, only a tickle. Skele making this a game. And that, yes, indeed, low cortisol only scored 8 rounds across the series. What do I do? Do I tweet at them and be like, 8 is not 10? Hello? Is this on? I want them to get 10 rounds against a big team, okay? Big fan of the underdog. So I keep poking the stick at the underdog and they'll eventually bite and get 10 rounds. Just hopefully not me. I don't know. If I say any more, it's progressively going to get worse. My comments. They get 10 rounds against GZ. As long as they don't send GZ to the CT side, they will. Tidy. Trying to sneak in. Will he sneak in? This is the big problem. He won't. He's dead. There we go. He's dead. Now, meanwhile... Oh, boy. At least motion noticed. Lucas not going to have a chance. Missed Eagle shots. Ooh, Michello with a 1 dig. And he's going to be able to sneak on through. And they've got potentially another weapon coming. I'm surprised the second weapon wasn't collected. 5-7's being sprayed in by Vision. Vision almost dead. You don't understand. Cash is their best map. Oh, jeez. You've been practicing a map that's not even in the map pool. Might as well just practice Vertigo, to be honest. I met Chad, like, playing for exits. He's waiting for Arctic to move to the other side to try and peek an angle. Lucas should get his man. He does. And that's going to be 6 for Skele. Thank you for the raid, Church Dog. Gonna say, is there a rifle? I was gonna say, I'm surprised they didn't pick up the M4. Like, when Vision rotated over, I'm surprised they didn't pick up that M4. Vision, mate. I'm feeling like I've got the vision here. Like, I'm surprised he didn't pick it up. head of the game? The head of the game should be playing Vertigo. Vertigo is so coming back. So coming back. Gonna be an interesting buy here. They got 2 rifles out of that round. In fact, they actually got more money out of that round. Thank you, Shadow. What do you guys reckon? PZ 2k? PZ 1k? Def? What do you guys reckon here? I reckon PZ 2k. Nope, PZ donutted. Absolute donut. If you guys don't know what donutting is, it means we get nothing, no kills. And they're gonna elect to pick up the bomb. Smoke being thrown in, and this is going to be a save, because unless Tux gets some gnarly USP headshots, he ain't doing anything. Flashbang. Doesn't even pick off Neo. However, Omacella's rushing. That acceleration might... They can throw a lot of HE, throwing a lot of utility. And they're delaying themselves, which is not good. Apoc dot taken out. Arctic just looking for more. Bombs planted. Did he not see Omacella? But I guess he didn't. Where's the AK? They might want to get that AK back. Vision just hiding in the church. They're not going to be able to exit out of the site. They know players are in CT. But they're going to lose players to this 5-7 beyond Banana. All they have to do is Tux bait it. They check down Tux and yep, there we go. And he's been dropped out of the side. Vision doesn't have a kit to ninja this. If he had a kit to ninja this, he could. This is the funny part. If Vision had a kit, he could have actually just jumped on that bomb and defused it. And they could have done nothing for it. Because the bomb's planted here. The closest player is here. Like, there's an angle where you can quickly defuse that in 6 seconds before they can get an angle to shoot him at. He was thinking about it, but, you know, probably, you know, stopped himself being like, I don't have a kit, so I can't really commit to this. Ooh, geez, bit of a friendly find to Neo there. Neo, ooh, and an opener there. Almost an opener, Neo. And might be taken out for his reward there, but takes a bit more damage. Pet OT, could be OT here. Ground Zero, funnily enough, he's almost conceded more T rounds than CT rounds at the moment. Tidy. Look into the A side, the A side, they just need to get a stop here. Vision at pit. Gonna smoke off apps and it's gonna molly off quad. It's gonna try and force a execute. Scene 1 actually. One drops back, nades, and yeah, he's gonna receive a lot of HE, but fortunately moves out very, very quickly. They haven't cleared out the apartments player yet. They have now. Eventually goes down. Vision gets one more, but he's a dead man. Actually, no, PZ. Actually, still alive. How is he still alive? I thought Omacella was the apartments player, but it wasn't. It was PZ. They've exchanged places now. Smoke being thrown in. This is actually going to deny their cross, which is not ideal. PZ spots 1, spots 2. Guys, you got to take care of that pit player. And Ground Zero put 11 on the board. Oh, Skele, you knew 2 of your players are around here. You know 2 players around here, and you try to cross like that? Guys, I know that smoke was pretty disadvantageous, but he still has a line. I think they were trying to be sneaky, but like you're wandering into an M4A1 or M4. Like he's just gonna spray that angle all day. You gotta take care of that pit player before you hit A. It just doesn't matter. And not to mention as well, PC getting away with it. Like he was on apartments, he was getting flashed. There were 4 players coming up short. And how was he not dealt with? I thought he was dead, but I realized it was Omi, and that was on the lurk on the other side of the map. Aggression coming in. I don't like these nades from Neo though. Neo's doing a lot of chip damage early on. Oh, Neo can go in here. Flash, and they will go in here, and they can't see each other. Neo gets the advantage. Neo, oh, not get a secondary here. Should get a secondary. He does. And now it's up to Omacella at second boxes. Hey, do check him, right? Please check him. No, guys! Guys, do not do this. And Omacella's got a free K. Might get a 4th, does get a 4th. Guys, check your angles. Get a projector out. You can't, oh. Just check your angles just in case. There could be a third player there. Why are they being so aggressive with 2 players on B? Could be a third player. Oh, Skele, they gotta be hitting themselves. They didn't check second boxes properly. They did a nano look, and it was Neo as well. Neo who made all the entries. Doesn't check the angles properly. He killed, and Oceania gets the bomb and some more. He's been full Greg up until that moment. He's gone Jack at the perfect time. Double HEs do a bit of damage, and that doesn't help. 5 series points. Tech 9s. Oh, we got Tech 9. Arctic get 2k here, I reckon. He'll run in. 2k. Tech 9. Can't see. But Arctic, is he suspicious? No, he's not suspicious. They've got 6 players. They're like, hang on. We've got 6 players now? When? But he's like, hang on, guys. We only had... It's only a 5v5 game. Tux drops the bomb. He's recoverable, though. And he's about to be surrounded. He is indeed surrounded. He goes down. Living just... Oh, APOC dud. Sometimes you need blessings to live. And APOC dud's going to need a lot of them. 14 HP. They know where he is, roughly. And they can go either side. He's dead. Bye-bye. Neo the Kobe. Let's get you up to vision. Please check your angles. Please actually check banana. Guys! Well, at least you checked banana this time. That's the positive. You checked banana. And that's going to be a game. Oceania from behind, from CT, makes a 13-7 on the board. Okay, that's okay. Okay, I can say I overhammed that loss there. Okay, that round loss. That wasn't too bad, okay? The previous one was, okay? The previous one was fuming. I was fuming, okay? Not checking second boxes, and Oceania must be going, wow, you know, what has God blessed me with, okay? He's like, oh, you know, the perfect 4K. And yeah, in the end of the day, I'm going to say Skele put up a decent fight, okay? I did say Skele we were going to put up a decent fight, and I did. They actually delivered. I think Skele, I'm going to say, Tidy in particular, like Tidy did really shine. Like Tidy really sucked on Mirage, but really kicked some butt on Inferno. I'm going to say a lot of good stuff about Skele because I shat on them in the last 2 rounds for like pretty unforgivable mistakes. But I'd say overall, I think Neo in particular did a lot. Like Neo was very, very impactful. Like if you look at the stat page, you're like, oh, Neo only did 14, 15, what the hell? But a lot of Neo's frags were like really critical frags to get them into the site or get them into an advantageous scenario. And also doing a lot of chip damage early on to make Ground Zero be unable to just enter sites. Slimy's joining Semper Fi, okay? That's what you need to know. And I felt overall like Skele in particular, like, you know, they could have got a few more rounds. Like, you know, basically the 13-7, 13-6 ain't too much. I reckon they probably deserve like 13-9 or 13-10. You know, that's my opinion. I think they deserved 13-9 or 13-10 for a lot of those maps. Ground Zero, on the other hand, PZ had an amazing series, okay? PZ ended up top fragging, but obviously didn't have the most assists because Tux outdid him at the end. But PZ had an incredible series overall, was the top fragger, a lot of impact, a lot of entries, you know, a lot of 2Ks, 3Ks for entries, a lot of holds as well. In particular, that hold at Pit, where he took out the 2 players trying to plant the bomb when it was a 3v2 on A site and both his teammates were walking wounded. He looked very, very good. I'm going to say poor Oceania, man, he had a bit of a donkey show on both maps at times, but he did shine up. You know, when you have a complete donkey show, showing up at the critical moments like he did, like he had a few 3Ks or 4Ks that pretty much gave Ground Zero a round, or gave Ground Zero, you know, push over the hump. In particular, his 4K on Inferno, okay, that disrupted the B bomb plant to win the round. I mean, when the other team makes a mistake, you know, your job's to capitalize on it, okay? And Oceania did exactly that. Put the rubber stamp in, despite having an absolute terrible game up until that point. So he's probably going to be pretty happy with that. Tux, obviously, didn't expect Tux to do much because Tux new to the team, was meant to be actually coaching the team. So, you know, last thing he wants to do, and also not to mention as well, Tux is a primary AWPer as well, and he's not going to get that. So Tux, not to mention, you know, probably maybe a bit rusty, not in his usual role, and probably playing things that he's not familiar with. In fact, he was playing B-side anchor on Mirage, and I'm not sure if Tux is a main B-side anchor to begin with, but he played it pretty well, okay? Probably got given Damio's role, and it's like, but I'm not Damio though. But either way. Yeah, I'd say overall Skele, this roster, even though, like, you know, I was told before the game that's like, you know, 10 random people, they played pretty well on like, you know, a team basis. Like, they played pretty decently, so, you know, hopefully, like, I'm not sure, like, you know, what their future is and whatnot, but, you know, if they stay together, like, you know, I'm liking the roster. Skele, aka Smelly. I'm not casting entirely for your alter ego, unfortunately. I'm only casting this game. But yeah, like, you know, overall, you know, I did like what I saw from Skele. I think overall, yeah, I did like what I saw. You know, I was pretty happy with that. What do you think about the game, Arctic? Okay, how do you think how that game went? You can tell now Nero's a bit unhappy with Arctic. Nero's like, I did all this chip damage with HE grenades and whatnot, and you didn't secure these kills? Come on, Arctic. You know, he did like 20 to 50 damage with the HEs. Why didn't you finish them off? Come on, mate. I let the team down. Don't worry, Arctic. Everyone lets the team down. Neo, don't let me remind you of round 19. Okay, round 19. Scary round. Okay. Oh my god. Not my fault. Yeah, I think it's Arctic's fault. Yeah, I agree. We gotta point the finger at someone. You know what? It's actually Omachella's fault. Okay. Omachella should have deliberately lost that round. Okay. It's actually his fault. Omachella should have just accidentally fired his AK, and you guys all turn around and just blast him into the second boxes. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Omachella's in the chat being, hey, this is not my fault. don't be bad. Nothing much. We just finished casting Skele v Ground Zero, and I'll be off for tonight. I was just casting this game because I didn't see anyone casting it, and then everyone like applied for games at like the last minute, and Church Dog didn't have a game, and I felt really bad for it because Church Dog didn't have a game. Because like, I don't know, I put it this way, like, I'm not casting games, okay? I was just casting because no one was casting it. So I'm like, crap, there's a good game between GZ and Skele and TDU and Low Cortisol. And I was like, you know, the org wants highlights. I even asked Eddie before the game, I was like, Eddie, is your org actually going anywhere? Like, as in like, are you guys going to build out that org? Because, you know, you want to give them clips and stuff like that as well that they can post on their social media. And, yeah, he said like, oh, not yet, we're not sure. So I'm just like, nah, let's go to the Ground Zero game because they're an org. They want to put their clip somewhere. Let's do that. So yeah, then everyone came out of nowhere and started wanting to cast games. And I'm just like feeling bad for Church Dog being like, I feel bad now because now I'm taking a game where, you know, I'm not really going to do anything with my casting career because it's pretty much over, let's be honest. But yeah, you know, that's what happens at the end of the day, and I felt kind of bad about it. But yeah, it's probably one of the rare times you're going to see me, like, you know, on a stream or casting by myself producing a game. Because, you know, just done with it, that's all. Kantoka, nothing much, as I said before. You know, just chilling. Also, by the way, guys, I want to say something I'm really proud of, okay? I've won Heku's HLTV Fantasy for the last 2 major tournaments. Like, out of the last 3 major tournaments, I've won 2 of them, okay? I've won 2 of them. I'm very proud of that, okay? I won one of them with Hooksy, okay? And, you know, I think it's like, my team name was No Zywoo, No Clue, and I won. Don't know how. And the other one was No Hooksy, No Hope, and I won. Okay, don't. My team names, I just like literally go in there and be like, let's be a massive shit poster, okay? I think my other team names, like, you know, got Hooksy, got Zywoo. But to be fair, if you guys ever want to know how to win fantasy, HLTV fantasy, just pick Zywoo, pick Apex, and then pick 3 of the other players, okay? Because Zywoo and Apex are going to get you a lot of points because Zywoo is Zywoo, and he just absolutely, you know, just absolutely demolishes anyone. And Apex, just one of the best support players in the game at the moment. Like, you look at his support stats, this is incredible. Anyways, guys, you guys are awesome, okay? I love the OC community, I love the teams, I love the orgs. I really appreciate you guys showing up for me. And I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely day. And yeah, you know, support these streamers and the casters that cast these events, like Church Dog and Flan, and whoever does it in the end. There's a few guys on tonight as well. Support those guys. Because, like, the young up-and-coming casters, they get a few and far between events at all, if any. And it is very difficult when you're grinding from the bottom to try and get any tier 1 event. Is incredibly difficult. And like, sometimes you're waiting for years and years and years to even get a paid gig. Like, if you guys are unaware, it took me 3 years to even get a paid gig. To be fair, some of them were during COVID, mind you. But it took me 3 years to even get a paid gig. So you know it's a long, rough time where you're trying to like perfect a lot of these skills to like a really decent level, and you have to cast a lot of these games to even stay relevant. It can be quite difficult. Now, not to take it away from the players. The players, they practice so much, okay? That's why I always ask these players these questions before the game, or like how to pronounce your names and stuff like that, and like what they expect out of this game, because they practice a lot more. Like some of these guys just like play DMs or whatever, you know, quite a bit, or you know, practice once or twice or even 3 times a week. And if someone's putting in that level of practice or that level of effort, you want to reward it by putting in that much of effort to learning what they do. Well, obviously not get the secret sauce, but you know, you want to know what they do, what they're on about, and stuff like that as well. So that's another thing as well. I don't want to forget those guys either. and I learned this as I went along. Like a lot of casters, you don't get it at the start, but you get it like, you know, after 2 to 3 years or so that, hey, these guys are putting in effort. You got to do the same. Put in as much effort as you can. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for being here. Who's online at the moment now? We can shove a raid to that's playing CS. I'll shove you guys to a guy I know who's doing Valorant, but because he's like I say overall, he's a big OC supporter as well. And like I say overall, he's been he's like in the Valorant space, he's been trying to get a tournament going, and like some sort of scene going, despite everything. Okay, and he's done a relatively decent job. So yeah, we're gonna give him a raid, and I'll probably be back later, maybe after dinner. Actually, no, probably not. Because, yeah, probably not after dinner because, yeah, I just realized what time it was. It's 7 o'clock. I've got to do a few things before I'm trying to think, can I even do anything? No, I can do some stuff, but I won't be on stream. Okay, that's pretty much that way, okay? I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for coming in for one of my casts. I really appreciate it. As I said, these casts will be pretty rare. I don't think I'll be doing many casts, so don't worry about it too much. Have a great night, guys, and to the players, to the orgs, love you guys so much. I'm not sure I showed too much appreciation on my last cast, which was X-Talon, the UR. But, yeah, you guys have been great, and you are very, very appreciated.